Hi, I'm Pam from AccuQuilt. Do you remember when you were a kid and you learned to paint by numbers? Number 1 was red, number 2 was blue, and so forth. Do you remember how easy and fun it was to create pictures using that paint by number system? Well, AccuQuilt has come up with a sew by number system. Let me introduce you to the GO Qube. The GO Qube can be used to make 6-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch, and even 12-inch blocks. This particular cube makes a 6-inch block. Inside are enough dies to make a 72 mix and match set. So let's take a peek and see what's inside our GO Qube. First of all, there are 8 dies. Each die is numbered, and each die comes with its own pattern. Also included in your GO Qube is an instructional DVD, a cutting mat, and additional patterns that you can make using your GO Qube set. Once you're done using your dies, they're easy to put away and store until you need the next time. Also, you might want to check out Eleanor Burns, the queen of all quilting, her new book called the GO Sampler. Inside are additional patterns that you can use for the GO Qube. It also teaches you techniques like smart stacking and other ways to use the GO fabric cutting system. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make the Diamond Star quilt, which is located here behind me. Isn't it beautiful? We'd like to thank Robert Kaufman for his donation of fabric to make this fabulous quilt. So let's gather everything we need together so that we can make this quilt square. Today we're going to make the Diamond Star square. You'll notice it's right here in this quilt block. This is a 6-inch block, and in order to make it, you'll need dies number 2, 4, 5, and 6. You'll also need a GO fabric cutter. If you have a GO Baby or a GO Big, you can use those machines as well as obviously a sewing machine. Now, before I begin to sew my block together, I've laid out the pieces to make sure that they're in the correct order and that I can be efficient as I sew the pieces together. You'll notice that the triangles are missing from the flying geese pattern, and that's what I'm going to show you how to cut today. So if you're using our GO fabric cutter, the most important thing you need to know is that the lengthwise grain of the fabric needs to travel back and forth through the machine. So I've cut a strip of this fabric, and since the salvage edge is away from me, then I know that the lengthwise grain is here and it will travel through the machine. So I'm going to cover my shape with my fabric strip. You'll notice there's hardly any waste, maybe less than 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to fan fold over that shape, place on the cutting mat, and I'm going to run it through the GO fabric cutter. Don't worry about this little tail, it won't bother anything. Turn the handle. When you're done, make sure you slide that mat right off. If you lift it straight up, all the pieces will fly off. Pull away the edge, and ta-da, we have perfect triangles for our flying geese square. So I'm going to lay these right here. That way I know where they belong in the pattern. And I'm going to show you how perfect flying geese come together. So you'll notice something great about these triangles. You'll notice the dog ears are cut off. That means when I put these two pieces together and match up the edge, right along here where that dog ear was cut off, that's a 1/4 inch seam. How clever is that? I'm going to pin my fabric together. There is nothing worse than having flying geese that don't work out right. I'm going to take it to my machine and sew this 1/4 inch seam. Take out my straight pin and ta-da! Look how easy that went onto this other half square triangle, so that now the points will be perfect when I sew the rows together. So I've made this piece right here. This is that first part right here. This is that flying geese. I've added the corners, so the 2 squares on the side. This is my middle row. Look how perfect those points are. That's because in the GO fabric cutter, I ran that through the lengthwise grain, my points were crisp, and my seams are always a 1/4 of an inch. And here's my last row. So let's sew this together and finish off this block. Again, you want to line up those pieces. Use my straight pin and sew a 1/4 inch seam. So I've added that bottom row, and now I'm going to add the top row. Going to line up my points and my seams. Sew my 1/4 inch seam. Take out my pin. And now look, my block is complete. All I need to do now is take it to the iron and press it out. So you would continue making these blocks, following the instructions in the pattern until the entire quilt is done. Ta-da! It's as easy as that. I'm Pam from AccuQuilt, and remember, better cuts make better quilts.